There is one clear sign of strength loss with age that can be seen in as many as 50% of people over the age of 65. This sign has been linked to a poorer quality of life and even to early death. Now, the good news is, even if you have this sign today, it can be reversed. And in this video, I'm going to reveal what that sign is and how to reverse it if you have it. My name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today we're going to be talking about the number one sign of strength loss with age and what to do to reverse it. So the number one sign of strength loss with age is slow walking. Now, slow walking is super common, especially for people over the age of 65. And there are many reasons for slow walking, but the research has shown that slow walking speed is actually an amazing predictor of hospitalizations, loss of independence, and even, unfortunately, early death. And it can be a stronger predictor than things like blood pressure or grip strength or many other measures that have been shown to also be good markers of health. And the way we measure slow walking is we ask someone to just go out and walk. We watch their preferred walking speed, and if it's below a certain measure, then that would qualify as slow walking. Now, the test is very difficult to do on yourself at home just because you know you're being tested. So what we'll do for this video is we'll assume that you're worried that your walking has reduced in speed, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. The good news is slow walking is reversible, and walking a bit quicker is both safer and it means you've got better strength in your legs. So slow walking speed seen in older people might have something to do with a loss of calf strength that seems to occur with age. In younger people, about 70 to 80% of the forward propulsive power that's generated when walking comes from the calves. And research has shown that in older people, most of them see about a 35% loss of calf strength compared to younger counterparts. And this corresponds with a 25% decrease in forward propulsive power. So they lack the propulsion, which means they don't have the power generated going forward, which means walking speed can decline. But something else happens as well. Because you lose strength in your calves, something else has to compensate. And usually it's the hips. And your hips are the other muscle group that help to propel you forward, namely your gluteus maximus, which is this muscle at the back of the hip. As it pushes forward, it can compensate a little bit for the loss of calf strength. The problem is the glute max is a much bigger muscle than your gastrocnemius down here, and that means it uses up more energy. Now, what this has shown in research is that people who try and match the walking speed of a younger counterpart, they use their hip muscles, and that increases their energy expenditure almost double that of a younger person just to walk at the same speed. So this loss of calf strength is a serious business. And first of all, what we're going to do is test you to see if you might have lost calf strength, and then I'm going to show you how to reverse it. So here's a simple test to see if you might have lost calf strength. It's the single leg heel raise, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. You're going to stand facing a wall with two hands firmly on the wall like this, with both feet on the floor to begin with. And all we're going to do is go up onto tiptoes as high as we can and take your finger and draw a line, an imaginary line between your finger and the wall. And then you're going to keep your finger on the wall where you managed to get up to. So my eyes got to there, so I'm going to keep my finger there. Now I'm going to put the other hand back on the wall. I'm going to go just onto one foot, and then I'm going to go up and see if I can get my eyes to the same level as my finger as I did with two legs. So for me, the right side is a pass because I got just as high on the one leg as I did with two. We can also try with the other side. So keep your finger on the wall, put just your left foot there, and then up as high as you can. And again, I can get my eye line just to where my finger was. That's a pass. That means you've got decent enough calf strength. Now, it doesn't mean you couldn't benefit from what we're just about to do, but it does mean that you're a good starting point. However, if you got to here and you tried to go up and you just can't, that's a fail, okay? It means you don't have the strength to lift your body weight on one leg, and it needs some work. So we're going to show you how to strengthen your calves for best results to fix that sign if you had it. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about a very special bonus I've created for viewers of this channel. It's called the Complete Guides to Building Muscle and Strength over the age of 50. And if you're someone who is a little bit confused about how to go about starting the process of building muscle and strength, you don't know what equipment to use or what exercises to choose, this is perfect for you. It's an exclusive 25-minute video that you can't find anywhere else, where I teach you all the ins and outs of building muscle and strength specific for people over the age of 50. So it's one of the best things I've created. I'm giving it totally for free to viewers of this channel. All you need to do is scroll down below this video. There's a link in the description where you can sign up. I'll send you the video straight away and you can get started. It's some of my best info, and if you use it, I hope you enjoy. So here are 2 super exercises to improve your calf strength for better walking. Now, these exercises are not going to be suitable for everyone, so do make sure you get checked out before you give them a go. And if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. Now, the first exercise is called the donkey calf raise. And there's studies to show that this type of calf raise is often better for activating the calf muscles than any other type of calf raise. Now, it looks a bit awkward, but for me, it's one of my favorite ways to strengthen the calves, especially if you've got no kit at home. All you need is a chair that you can rest your elbows on at home and stick it up against the wall so it doesn't move. Okay, so this is the setup. You're going to take a few steps back from the chair, facing the back of the chair, and then you're going to hinge forward, keeping a nice straight back. You can see how the movement here is happening at my hips, not my spine. So we're basically hinging forward and resting our elbows on the chair. You're then going to take a couple of mini steps back just so you're in a nice comfortable position. You might feel a little bit of a stretch on your hamstrings if you're doing this correctly, just because you've got your bum stuck out and your back nice and straight. But most importantly, you've got the heels starting on the floor. The exercise is super simple. All we're going to do, keep our weight at the back of the foot, and then we're going to push up onto tiptoes like this, and then slowly come back down, and then up again, and then slowly back down. Now you can see I'm not quite fully straight on my knees. There's a slight bend on my knees, but they're mostly straight. And every time I come down, the weight is kind of coming back to my heels, which means I'm trying to almost push my body weight back behind me at the end of every rep. Now, when I get to the top, I'm having a real squeeze of the calves here and then coming back down. Now, this is very different in terms of how it feels to just doing a calf raise standing up. You can feel it almost in a different part of the calf. It will be a different kind of burn, and you might not be able to do quite so many just because you've put the muscle into a different position than if you're just doing it like this, which I think I could probably do pretty much all day. Now, just from doing 15, 20 of these donkey calf raises, you can start to feel the muscle burning. And that's just because of the mechanics of the position you've put yourself in. So with this exercise, the actual number you do is not that important. You can do 10, you can do 15, you can do 30. You just have to keep going until you get that working ache in the muscle. That's your cue to say that you've done enough. It doesn't actually matter what number you hit. Now, if you can do 50 or more, you probably need to add a little bit of weight. So one way you could do that is to wear a rucksack. Another way you can do that is to hold a dumbbell like this as you do your donkey calf raise, or you can move on to the next exercise, which is much easier to add weight and should be more progressive if you can do that easily. So the donkey calf raise is great, but it doesn't take the muscle right through its full range of motion, and it doesn't put it onto a full stretch, unlike this exercise, which I call the power calf raise. Now for this, again, you don't need much kit. You just need a step, so you can use your bottom step in your house or a step between your front door and the threshold. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our calf on a stretched position. So you're going to stand on the step like this with just the front half of your foot on the step. and you're going to drop your heels down just below your resting foot, if that makes sense. Now, again, make sure you're resting your hands on something to keep yourself balanced, because this is not a balance exercise. Now, we're going to start the exercise when we feel a stretch in the calf. So I'm dropping my heels down to the point where I can now feel a stretch in both of my calves. That's great. That's where we want to start from. Now, once you've got that stretch, we're then going to push up to the count of 2 and then very slowly bring ourselves back down to that stretched position. And you're going to force those heels down into even more of a stretch. It's almost like a PNF technique, we call it. And then again, we're going to come up. This time, we're just going to try and generate a bit more force on the upward movement. And again, nice and slowly down. That never changes. It's always slow on the way down. But then we're going to try and come up a bit quicker. So it's sort of now 1 second on the way up. Once we feel like we've kind of warmed up a little bit, drop that heel down both sides. Wait till we feel the stretch. Really push into that stretch, dropping the heel down, and then up again, and then slowly back down. And you get the picture. You're just going to keep repeating just like you did on the donkey calf raise until you start to get that working ache. Now, that working ache is your sign to stop. It means you've done a great job. You're going to rest probably for a minute and do 3 sets of that total, probably 3 sets of each. But if you can do 30, 50 repetitions and you don't really feel much happening, again, you definitely need to make this a touch harder. And the way you make this harder is by adding some load. Now, I've got a dumbbell. You don't need to use a dumbbell to make this work. You can use stuff around the house. Just get a rucksack, fill it with books, pop that on your back. That works just as well. But if you have a dumbbell, they're pretty easy to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the dumbbell in one hand, so I've still got my other hand to help me balance. I'm going to rest my toes, the fronts of my feet, on the step again. And again, we're going to drop down into that stretched position like this. Wait till you feel that stretch and then push up and then very slowly come back down. Again, pushing down into that stretch, letting the extra weight in my hand now pull me down into a further stretch to make it even more beneficial. Then come up nice and fast and again down nice and slow. Now, it doesn't actually matter that you've got the weight just in your left hand. Some people are probably thinking, well, that looks imbalanced. It really doesn't matter that much, just because it just adds to your total body weight. And what I'd recommend, if you are a bit concerned about that, you do a set with it in your left hand, then you swap over, and then your next set you do with the dumbbell in the right hand. But it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Obviously, the key here is to make sure you're still balanced. So keep your hand on something, make sure you feel that stretch in your calf, and then it's that nice powerful drive up and then drop it back down. So anywhere between 5 and 50 repetitions is a great idea for you in this exercise. So work up, keep increasing the reps every week or increase the weight, make it progressive, do 3 sets of each exercise, probably 3 or 4 times per week, and you're going to notice a dramatic improvement to your walking speed as a result. So that's the #1 sign of strength loss with age and how to reverse it. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, do drop a comment below and let us know how you got on, because we love to read your thoughts and it does help us to improve this channel. So thank you so much if you do that. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel as well, because that helps us to reach more people. And if you want to get more from me personally, the best way to do that is to pick up a copy of my brand new book, the 2024 edition of Thriving Beyond 50, which is out with Hay House on the 1st of October 2024. It's my best piece of work to date. It's got hundreds of exercises and bits of advice and information inside to help you remain fit, mobile, active, and independent over the age of 50. There's a link below this video which will take you to Amazon or other book retailers as well, where you can order your copy. And if you buy it, I hope you love it as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you again on the next video.